Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I just have a quick video for all of you today. Now before we get into it, I just want to quickly mention that I'm not feeling the best, so if you hear my voice sounding almost like it's running out of battery, it's just because I need to cough like every 10 seconds and I don't want to try and edit that out of the video. So if you hear my voice sounding weird or there's any mic issues, I do apologize. I just wanted to get a quick video out because I think that what we're covering today is relatively interesting, especially if you are a fan of Fortnite and Mortal Kombat, as you would know if you are a fan of both of those. Even if you're just sort of interested in one, you would have noticed that Mortal Kombat was added into Fortnite, which is pretty cool. First, it was revealed that Sub-Zero was going to be in the game for Chapter 6 Season 2's Battle Pass, and later on they added in Scorpion, Kitana and Raiden, and you can even do like mini boss fights against Scorpion across the map at 3 different locations that resemble Mortal Kombat locations. So, you know, the woods, the pit, and the Deadpool. So there's a couple of classic MK locations already in the game, and you could fight Scorpion there. So their inclusion has been pretty well received, at least as far as I've seen. I think the skins all look really, really cool. And apparently we might be getting a few more relatively soon. Now this is courtesy of the Thinny, who I've talked about in most of my recent videos because that's where we get a lot of the news from. He's a pretty credible source. So I think it's interesting to cover this because I think that there's a good chance of these characters getting added because it was received pretty well the first time. So on the screenshot here, this is from the Thinny's Twitter page, X, whatever you want to call it. And these are some characters that are potentially apparently getting added based on leaks. So of course, if you're interested in any of these characters, feel free to look at them if they're not Mortal Kombat, but I'm just going to talk about the MK ones. So we have Shao Kahn, Reptile, Shang Tsung and Goro. I'm not sure why I read them in that order, but whatever, it doesn't matter. That is a very interesting selection. Like, we actually don't have a single female character in that, which is pretty surprising. I think that they, you know, generally opt to have at least one female character in there. So I think that that would probably be a good idea. I think it's also very random. Like, you have the boss characters and then also Reptile. Not complaining though, I think it's a pretty good selection. If it was up to me, like, I have no idea how Goro would work. Like, I would probably replace him with like Melina or probably actually Sonya, because you could just give a pink sort of purpley skin to Kitana and that could be Melina, which would be a lot easier. But then again, Epic probably wanted to charge us for the skins differently, so who knows if they could get added in the future. But I think that Sonya, like in her classic look, would have been a bit cooler. And a lot of people really want like Johnny Cage and Liu Kang, and interestingly enough, they're still not in the game apparently, if we're taking these leaks as 100% true, which don't, because they could be wrong 100%. Like, we might not be getting any more Mortal Kombat characters ever. We could be getting them, you know, in a month. We could be getting them in a year, and they might be these characters, they might not be. There's really no way to know fully, but just interesting to me, and that's why I wanted to make this video. Let me know what characters you want to see get added, like aside from the ones that are already in the game, of course. Like, personally, I would love to see, if I had to pick like 4, like a new pack to get added, it's a bit of a random one. I would like to see like Sonya, probably Melina, so we can actually see like her teeth. I don't know how they would do that to make it like, you know, M-rated, like okay to play for kids. But like Sonya, Melina, and then I don't know, I reckon Liu Kang and Johnny. That would be like a pretty safe pack to do, but I think it would sell well, like the first one, and I think that those are pretty iconic characters that should be added. I think Liu Kang could look really, really cool. Now, when we're talking about the characters that are apparently getting added, I think Shao Kahn would be really cool. I think he'd have some really cool emotes, and of course, like, I reckon his would be like the one where he puts his fists, or I can't remember if he just puts his hands or just his fist, but puts them on his waist and laughs at you, or he could even do the one where he points at you and tells you that you suck. Like, he can have a lot of potential when it comes to emotes. And with the others, I think they're all pretty cool. Again, Goro, not sure how he could work. You know, of course, having 4 arms, I think the hitboxes would be kind of insane. Maybe same with Shao Kahn because of how tall he is. Reptile is interesting because I think that Sub-Zero and Scorpion should have just been given a bunch of different colors that represent every MK ninja, instead of maybe making us buy them all separately down the line. Either way, I don't mind, but I think Reptile was a character that a lot of people wanted, so I don't mind that if this ends up being true. I feel like they could have picked maybe better characters. I feel like the ones they chose would be better suited for a pack later down the line. But as I said before, let me know your thoughts on it. Like, do you think this is real, fake? Who knows, really? I just like making these videos because it's just interesting to really discuss. But that's about it, everyone. As usual, consider subscribing if you want to keep up to date with Mortal Kombat news. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.